All right, this is a quick overview of the interior at Greer Loop. We're going to start the corner of the house and we go all the way around, and then we just follow the walls, follow any outlets that we find, and check the windows, and pretty much go all the way around and come back to the same spot. We do the first floor, then we do the second floor. So in all the outlets, we check it out with this probe right here. It will tell us if the wires are correct or incorrect. And then this one is a wireless one because he has some child-proof protection. So we put it up from the outlets right here like that. It will tells us that it's correct. Obviously, if it's not good, it will be red and it will say it's incorrect. The average would be 120. Solar power panels would be 122, 125. So we go all the way around and then come back to the same spot. So I'm only going to show you things that need to be corrected. Not everything else that doesn't have to be corrected. Obviously, will not be on the report. So there's an island. Good job with the island. The only thing that is required to have power. So it's required to have a receptacle to connect anything that you need with power. The outlets in the countertop here, if it's less than 6 feet from the water source, it has to be GFCI. So this is a GFCI, but it's not working properly. He's getting the electrician here. He replaced the GFCI and it still did not work properly. So that's on the bottom here. So we're gonna go to upstairs. Not much to show you, not really much at all to be honest. So going up the steps, they have a Nest system controlled by Alexa. I checked the temperature, heat and air conditioning. You have a heat pump. It's up in the roof mounted. So basically here, normally because people have kids, they this lock for the doors assembly, they're supposed to be privacy lock. In other words, that you can lock it in here. So a couple bedrooms have closet lock hardware. So basically that has to be replaced because you can't lock them. So basically it'd be like here, like in the master, you see this door right here. This door right here, you're able to lock it, obviously for privacy. So was the one in the bathroom. He exchanged it, but because he had a basically a closet lock. We're gonna go to the garage and then we go outside. So here in the garage door opener, the handle here that connects to the door might need to be tightened. And then we have right here, we have drywall cracks. It's just basically not structural crack, or basically what happens is the drywall sheets are 4x8 and they come together, and then they put tape and compound right here, and then what happens is it dries up. If there was a difference in elevation, one higher than the other, then it would be structural, but it's not. So basically, how do you fix that? You could use painters caulking and then paint, just like they did over here. They fixed a couple of those. You could also put new compound. Again, not a structural condition. So we're going to, let me show you now the hot water heater. It's like a new hot water heater. I think it's 2022 right there. We can see it. So we got that in here. I checked the temperature. It is the right temperature, about 114, less than 120 degrees, so that works. So let me go back. Okay, coming back into the kitchen just to show you a couple of things. This would need what they call a anti-tipping bracket. It's a bracket that goes behind the stove, and it holds on to one of the legs so it doesn't tip forward. And then the dishwasher, he ran a cycle and that worked. The only thing is that the door, when you open the door, it goes down, and then it might be leaking a little bit here. So that might be something to consider. Okay, on the appliances. microwave works, and also the fan and the light as well. Okay, so now we do the outside. All right, so this is for, since we have a pool, a couple things, but it all depends on the county and the city. For example, Phoenix requires in Scottsdale to have a secondary lock higher than 54 inches, and any door leading to the outside, because there is a pool, has to be self-closing. So we have to double check and see what the requirements are. So pool doesn't have a gate. Again, it might not be required. It's city by city. He said he had an inspection by the inspector, and the inspector for the city did not say that you need to have it. So I check all the equipment here on the pool. They're newer equipment. I check the lights. There's multicolored lights. The positive thing about the pool is that the homeowner is a pool. He works as a pool technician, so he took care of all this, taking care of the pool. So no issues. You can see the surface is in good shape, no problem. Okay, so here, this gazebo, basically it would need to be secured. Here it's not anchored, so it needs to be secured. Basically, sometimes we get wind bursts, and basically for safety purposes, it has to be anchored. A few of these are called column caps. A few of these are loose, so they basically need to be tightened. And pretty much that's on the exterior. On the roof, I flew a drone, so no problems with the roof. No broken tiles, no cracked concrete packs. And let me take you to the front to show you where the shut-off valves are in the event of an emergency. So this right here is called expansion material, and is usually put in between the concrete slabs because concrete expands and contracts. This is pretty much made out of cardboard. It's a little bit deteriorated. It could be replaced, or basically you could put a self-leveling epoxy you'll get from Home Depot or Lowe's, or it could be left alone. So I checked all the outlets, and no problem with the outlets. Doorbell works. I think he's taking the ring with him. Okay, so in case of an emergency, this is where you shut it off. If something breaks inside, that's the main water line. The electrical panel is right here. It's all labeled. And then I was able to take the cover off and then make sure there's no burnt wires or anything crazy inside. It's pretty well done. Obviously, it looks like it was done by an electrician. So that's to close this right here. And then the irrigation system is usually outside of scope of inspection, but I tested it anyway. He had it on the off position, and the power here is off, the power on the electrical panel. And he said basically he never used it. I turned it on. I ran it on manual to see if there was anything broken, but the valve right here was activated, but there was no water coming out of the drippers. So that has to be looked into if you want to have the drippers. Solar panels, because they're under warranty, we're not allowed to touch any of that. So that is part of the solar panel company scope. Otherwise, you'll avoid the warranty. Well, I hope it helps. This is the end of the report.